Thanks for visiting our channel again. Many consider the ABBA trio, Ulvaeus, Bjorn, and Agnetha Faltskog, to be among the most stunning, gifted, and renowned on-stage couples in history. The band has been in the spotlight time and time again, thanks to their combined talents as a captivating vocalist and a talented songwriter and musician. They captivated an audience all across the world, and their love story continues to inspire many who wish they could have been a part of it. This is why the news of their divorce and subsequent decision to part ways shocked and saddened everyone, putting an end to one of the most iconic bands of all time. One of ABBA's most famous songs, "The Winner Takes It All," has its roots in Bjorn Ulvaeus's bizarre and, dare I say, painful request for a divorce from Agnetha, which he discussed in retrospect. While staying in a cottage on Viggo Island in 1979, Ulvaeus and Anderson started writing "The Winner Takes It All." The inspiration for the song, according to Anderson, came from some old sketches and fragments of music. Bjorn was attempting to find a method to express himself through music at this time, as he was beginning to distance himself from Agnetha and his emotions. Because Bjorn channeled all of his hurt and confused emotions into the song, and because its early version was steady and fast, the demo was originally titled "The Story of My Life." Their first effort was far too rigid and metrical, so they set aside the song for a few days to work on other pieces. Anderson proposed a less structured, French chanson-style arrangement 4 days later, complete with a descending piano line. That way, the song would have more of the carefree vibe that Bjorn was going for. After that, he went home and composed the song's lyrics using a cassette tape that had nonsense French phrases. It was the shortest lyric he had ever written, and he claimed to have drank whiskey while penning it. The major lyrics of the song came to him in a burst of passion in 1 hour, and he said that he was nearly always inebriated when he was writing. Even though he and Agnetha had agreed that the divorce was for the best, it was still having a profound impact on them. The process was about to begin. When he eventually gave Agnetha the sheet music for the song he had composed, she broke down in tears at the powerful impact the words had on her. Even though it was obvious that the song was about their divorce, Bjorn first disputed it, saying that it was based on his own divorce experience, but was truly fictional since there was no obvious victor or loser in his split from Agnetha. The agony in Agnetha's voice when she finally sang it live led many to believe it was based on reality. Their parting was convoluted, with both of them winning and losing at the same time, and Bjorn said that the song was inspired by the sadness of that breakup. Even if the lyrics couldn't be taken literally, they still carried unprecedented importance to them. What many fans want to know, though, is why Bjorn made Agnetha sing that awful song. The already tough process of getting a divorce is made much more so when you have to perform a song that your ex-husband penned himself about him kissing another female. But this was due to Bjorn's emotionally taxing and intricate relationship with Agnetha, which had been showing signs of strain for some time before to their final confrontation. Despite outward appearances of perfection, there were warning signs from the beginning of their marriage. Their occupations consumed Agnetha and Bjorn to the exclusion of all else, including their relationships and children. They were hopelessly infatuated with one another from the beginning, and they tied the knot at a young age because they discovered in one other the driving force behind their music. It seemed like they could get past the small differences, such as Agnetha's desire for comfort and Bjorn's need for control, but as their relationship developed, they realized that wasn't the case, and it became the beginning of the end. Bjorn claims that Agnetha was obsessive-compulsive and terrified of him, since she was perpetually concerned about the safety of her loved ones. She worried that he might cheat on her, that a stalking fan would ruin their relationship, or that their plane would crash while they were on tour, leaving their kids without a parent. After the band gained fame, her apprehensive expression grew even more pronounced, and she frequently seemed tense as a result of her excessive worry. Not only that, but she still felt no relief from this stress even after resting. Night terrors, in which she imagined horrible things occurring to her family, contributed to her mental instability. Worried that she was pushing Bjorn away, her anxiety made her more possessive than before, the exact opposite of her intended effect. In response to Agnetha's increasingly intolerable behavior, Bjorn quickly became icy and authoritarian. Possibly, as suggested in the song's lyrics, He began to seek love and fulfillment elsewhere after realizing he was no longer getting it in his marriage. As a result of her intense jealousy and anger at his actions, Agnetha began to feel less and less affection for him and began to wonder if they were truly meant to be together. When Bjorn felt it was time for the pair to split up and ABBA's popularity started to fall as a result of the couple's damaged personal relationships and the music they had created, it was the last straw. Agnetha nodded in agreement. But they were both secretly harboring emotional feelings about the wonderful times and closeness they had shared. Since Agnetha's situation did not improve following the divorce, it seemed that Bjorn had been correct in his decision. Her mental and physical health deteriorated as a result of the strain of popularity, her divorce, and being a single mother. While she was trying to salvage her marriage to Bjorn Ulvaeus, she started having affairs with a number of men, including a fashion designer, an ice hockey player, and, most surprisingly, her psychiatrist. For her, this wasn't the first time a romantic relationship blossomed between coworkers. After receiving hate mail and threats to her children's abduction, Stockholm detective Thorbjorn Brander tried to assist her, but she ended up having an affair with him. She wed surgeon Thomas Sonnenfeld and then divorced him because she was hopelessly disoriented and seeking solace from her agony. Not only that, but she also lost her dad a year after this and watched her mother take her own life. As her mental health deteriorated, she isolated herself, unwilling to seek assistance or even tell anyone what was happening. At a time when her dread of the world and suspicion of people around her were at an all-time high, she suffered alone, without a genuine friend or companion to lean on. While Bjorn was considerably more at ease, he had no trouble continuing. He and fellow ABBA member Benny Andersson kept on their professional collaboration, which included songwriting, singing, and composing. Luck was also on his side when he met and married Lena Kallershow, a woman he remained in love with for 41 years. He seemed to be in far better mental and physical health than Agnetha, and he may not have made as much improvement if he had remained with her. No matter how complicated a divorce is, one spouse will inevitably endure greater emotional and psychological distress than the other. Bjorn may have claimed that no one came out on top in his divorce from Agnetha, but it's obvious who did and did not gain from the split. Although one now has a friend and companion by their side, the other struggles with mental health concerns and remains isolated and lonely. In this ABBA couple's relationship, who do you believe came out on top? Let us know in the space provided.